being absolutely disgusted. So,
and that's a good thing. I'm sorry to say that's good.
for me, that's like dirty sex talk.
I don't have my diabetes clip, but I wish I did right now.
More fitting than ever.
Something we should devote some time to on this show. We need to have the nutritionist back.
I don't think so. I don't think we do.
I approached her about coming and guesting again with us, and she is so busy right now because of the first time she was on the show. Her career just skyrocketed from there,
Yeah, sounds right.
and she just hasn't had time. But I am trying to get her back.
That would be great. She was fun.
She was a lot of fun and very intelligent, and I learned a lot. I don't believe I've actually like consciously followed any of her advice, but I did learn a lot from her.
I've heard other people talk about some of the stuff that she mentioned. I certainly don't.
No, I legitimately I didn't have any milk for my cereal this morning, so I legit straight up melted some ice cream. And
That's
used that.
basically milk.
Yeah, right. Figured it was the same thing. Tasted
Just
wonderful.
I was gonna say it's just a little thicker.
Yeah, it's just Captain Crunch and ice cream. It was perfect breakfast. Hashtag adulting. So,
So
not
good.
the nutritionist advice, because I did that.
You know, people sit there and they say, you know, you're poor when the only thing you have left in your fridge is a couple of slices of pizza. No, you know you're poor when you're having fucking ice cream with your cereal because you can't afford milk.
I could afford milk. I just didn't have any. It's cold out.
So good.
And
Oh man.
I'm eager to get my pet goat.
I saw your post on that one saying that you're looking for what's your goat's name again?
Oh, Daryl.
Daryl. It's always like Daryl, as in like who's your other brother Dale and your other brother Dale? No, it's
Yeah.
my goat. Oh.
Someone, yeah, my mom was all like shitty about it. Are you sure it's good to have one in the city? I'm like, what do you move? You don't pretend you care.
Yeah, don't start now. And not over Daryl.
Yeah, I was okay homeless on the streets of Vancouver for 3 years, but the goat we got to worry about.
Yeah. So good. Oh my god.
That's good parenting there. It's wonder I'm so normal and well adjusted.
Um, I'm reading up on this article here about the Houthis that fired the missiles and the drones and stuff at the Saudi oil facilities. Now, I'm a little confused. If you've got these drones, and on top of that, so hang on, here's what they did. A Houthi military spokesman named Yaha Saria said the group fired 14 drones and 8 ballistic missiles across the border, with the kingdom in a quote wide operation in the heart of Saudi Arabia.
Okay.
But they didn't hit anything of actual value.
I was gonna say, yeah.
So, like, I don't understand. You've got 14 drones and 8 ballistic missiles. Out of 22 shots, you're 0 for 22.
Well, I would imagine these are not smart missiles.
Oh, come on. Isn't there just a matter of odds where you have to hit something of value out of that many attacks? Isn't it just numbers?
Now, keep in mind, these are not smart missiles, and these are not smart people firing these missiles or controlling these drones.
Clearly.
I would say that's probably more common than anyone wants to admit. Going on a massive airstrike and hit nothing. I don't think it's necessarily an us versus them thing. I don't see, I certainly know I wouldn't do any better.
I could probably pick up 1,000 gamers that could do a fucking 10 times better job sending one of these things. These guys are actually fighting wars. I just don't get it.
Well, I'm sure someone has thought of that and is utilizing it. I don't know if maybe that's a tactic in the Middle East yet, but I guarantee we've got a bunch of little Mario Kart players that they think they're playing fucking that Mario Melee thing, but really they're bombing some little country.
Oh, I've often wondered that. I really have.
Oh, guaranteed we've utilized it. And the drone thing, that's just a little bit scary, a little too close to our movie. I don't want reality to come out before my movie does.
Yeah, that just gets a little fucking terrifying. Like, Jesus Christ.
You know what's happening? Amazon's finally got their first employee-less store open and up and running. And it's an official Amazon store that you can walk into and buy stuff, but there's nobody working there.
So I guess everything just runs off of touchscreens?
Yeah. And it's very scary. It's a lot of automation happening that I don't think we're prepared for. But it is happening, and pretty soon we'll be at a point where we don't need people anymore. It'll just be drones, and that's fantastic, in my opinion.
What better thing for the economy than just to eliminate more and more jobs?
Well, see, that's the thing. Now, how many jobs are you eliminating? I just finished having this fight with people online because they put in self-serve checkouts at Costco.
Yeah.
And well, first of all, there's an attendant for all those checkouts. So no one's lost a job.
One attendant for 8, usually minimum 8 checkouts.
No, there's one per checkout. That's the way it was at Walmart. That's the way it was at Costco so far. That'll be reduced. But
I've never seen more than one person at a fucking Walmart. There's always one person to run the whole bank.
Now, you say, okay, we eliminated, say you're even right. Okay, so your math, say there's 10 cashiers. Now they're down to 1 per 5 machines, so there's only 2 cashiers. So maybe you eliminated jobs, or maybe they just moved to other parts of their store and they still have jobs. You don't know that. And second of all, what about the factory that makes those machines? Now they've just created 25 jobs. The guys who have to maintenance those machines, well, now they're going to need to hire more people. So that's another 10 jobs. The guys that have to fix them, repair them, the guys that come out to maintain them, the delivery guys who deliver them. There's a massive amount of jobs that are created every time one of these things pops up. Let's not forget them just because we're bleeding hearts for the fucking cashiers. Sure, a couple cashiers might be out of luck, but maybe 100 people on the back end are getting jobs because of it.
And you're missing one other great point with that, by the way. The ones that are losing out on the jobs are the part-time student jobs that require, in the sense, I'm not going to say cashiers are a fucking easy job. That's a lot of codes to remember, and you got to be quick and everything else. I get it, but nonetheless, it's an entry-level position. Exactly. Every single position that Eric just mentioned above that's affected with these machines are all trade skill jobs.
Yeah.
That pay much better, come with much better benefits.
If you're an old fucker like me and Gord, you might remember we all said the exact same thing about ATMs. They were putting banks out of business. They were putting cashier tellers out of business. All the tellers were going to lose their jobs. And it didn't happen.
Nope.
Didn't happen at all, in fact. And everyone uses ATMs all the time, and there's still plenty of gainfully employed bank tellers.
Yep.
I know nobody likes things. Nobody likes change, but we're not all going to go rally behind horseshoe makers now, are we? Shit changes.
You know, there was a cracker company I used to do an install for.
White guy?
No, not a white guy factory. They actually made like crackers, like.
I just assumed it was like just they only hired crackers.
No, I actually think there's only 2 white guys that work there. What was interesting about this place was, they were really, really well known for treating their staff very well. They treated them like family. They're very good about making sure everybody had a good home life balance, work life or home work balance.
Buddy crackers.
They called them all a bunch of crackers. They paid them well considering what each position was in the sense, and it was as far as everything was mentioned on the outside, it was all very good company to work for. Well, a group of people whose job was solely to collect crackers and then put them in a plastic container so they could go into packaging and be shipped out. That was their job. They complained. They're saying we should get paid, and this was going back, almost 20 years ago now. They were saying we should get paid $23 an hour for doing what we're doing. At the time, they're getting paid, I think it was $17 an hour.
Jesus.
Which is, again, minimum wage at the time was probably closer to what, $12? You know what I mean? If not, maybe 10. They were getting paid pretty well considering. And so they demanded raises, and the company's like, no, you guys have got a great benefits package. You're making great money an hour. Like, no, you're not getting a fucking raise. It all gets part of the yearly review. You're not just getting one because you're going to demand it. So they went on strike, and they picketed, and the company warned them, get back to work or you're going to lose your job.
Yeah, you can't really do that, but sure.
So what the company did was the company said, the position you guys were all working, that you all worked under, no longer exists. And they replaced them all with a machine. Every one of them. There was, I remember, I think there was 12 of them total, if memory serves me. It was going back a while ago. I think there's 12 of them total. And all 12 of them lost their jobs.
I actually think I know this story, to be honest.
It was wicked. And the funny thing was, when I went there to do an install one day and I saw this new machine, I'm like, so I watched the guy, I'm like, so how's the machine working? He goes, man, he says, this thing, they were losing an average of about, it was something like 50 crackers an hour that were being broken by the people doing it manually.
Of course.
So we have 0 broken crackers. This thing works fully efficiently. The line's never shut down once. Doesn't take bathroom breaks. It doesn't take a lunch break. It doesn't know this. It just works. And when you want to stop, you just push stop. You want to start, you just push start, and it works. It's and the best thing was, though, it was the ultimate deterrent, basically saying if anybody else fucks with us, we will replace you with a chunk of machinery because now we know how much money we can save by doing this.
And I'm sorry, cashiers of the world, if you feel like the writing's on the wall, ask for retraining. Ask to move into another position. There's a lot of opportunity there, but you got to be proactive about it.
That is the key. Well said.
I'm sure, as I said before, I'm sure 100 years ago, everyone was pissed off at the automobile for putting all the horseshoe makers out of work. All the saddle makers, they're probably furious.
Yep.
And there was a rally like this for them too. But we can't stop progress for, there's no polite way to say it. We can't stop the progress of science and innovation and the furtherment of the human race because we care so much about our cashiers. Let's find a productive way to get them into other positions, and just move on and get toward the future.
Yeah. But not only that, though, but the other upside to this whole cashier thing, cashier jobs for the longest time were basically just part-timers working 4 to 6 hour shifts at a time, and that was it. They got no benefits. They got nothing like that.
Sure.
Now, because every time I go into grocery shopping, I'm always seeing kind of like the same 3 people, 3 or 4 people are running the actual payment lines when I'm up at like a grocery store or something like that. And you full time or are you part time? She said, no. I'm a lot of them right now are all full time during the day during the week.
Sure.
Which means now instead of just being stuck as a shitty part timer, now you're full time with a full time job with the benefits. And that never would have happened.
There's a lot of big stores that call 36 hours full time so they don't have to give you benefits.
Yes, that is true. But the ones I was talking to, they were, for the most part, almost happy that it happens. I'm getting more hours. This is great.
I'm erring on the side of caution because I feel like